Hey y'all, how's it going? It's your boy Kennard Lewis. We in the flesh. We doing it right. And I'm here today to talk about a topic that I feel society as a whole and us as individuals have sometimes fallen short to. And that's finding a connection. Finding that person. That individual that's allowing you to express who you are, accepting who you are. Because I believe that, you know, everybody in some shape or form needs somebody. We can't tackle on the world by ourselves. We're always gonna need somebody. We're an interactive species. But that being said, in this process of trying to find that partner in crime or that brother or that sister, is we don't find people that accept us for who we are. We get judged. We live not only in a society but in a world that has a multitude of identities and ideologies, from sex or race to orientation to gender to class. Like it's a lot, And just because it is a lot, it doesn't mean that we can't find commonalities. It doesn't mean that we can engage ourselves in empathy and understanding. Because again, we as much as the world is created of a multitude of identities, we have a multitude of characteristics and traits, that culminate into that personality, right? And that being said, if we would want to exist in a society that we believe that should be accepting of us, then we also have to engage. It is a give and go, and that's very interesting, because I've realized that, and I didn't realize it when I was younger, is I'm an acquired taste. Not everybody has been vibing with me throughout my life. I've gotten rejected. I've gotten those awkward moments where I want to be accepted, but I understand that I'm not really fitting in. So I'm lost and I'm confused because you're not accepting me. You're not allowing me to be in that circle. And it's discouraging, and in that discouragement, sometimes when we realize that our personalities are not being accepted, we sometimes want to tweak it. We sometimes want to switch it. We sometimes want to change up who we are so that we can be accepted in certain circles. And that's unfortunate. I want connection to happen, but I don't want it at the expense of your individuality. Because being who you are, or who you are, is beautiful, is amazing, is great. And it took me a while to understand that myself. But finding a connection is not about changing who you are. It's about finding people who accept you and understand you, and you reciprocate that same energy that they're gonna give to you. But understand that not everybody is going to accept you. Not everybody is going to vibe with you. Not everybody's supposed to connect with you. There's a multitude of identities, too many ideologies. We're not always gonna reach a common base, but just because we're not reaching that common base doesn't mean that we can't be civil. Doesn't mean that we can't coexist in the same playing field. I don't like when we get into circles and we change up who we are and what we believe because we want to be liked. We want to be accepted, because then in return that messes up our mental health. It messes up our state of mind. And that being said, we can't allow that to happen. And what's so crazy, again, there was this statement from the Bird Box, came out a few months ago on Netflix, and they were saying that loneliness does not exist. It's our inability to connect. And I thought that was very interesting, because I don't think it's just our fault. I think we do play a role in the connection, but again, we have to understand that society plays a role in connecting us. And what's so interesting about that is that sometimes, as we've noticed, if people are not vibing with us, we just say, okay, we're going to be alone. We're going to stay by ourselves. And it's sometimes that self-isolation or that self-segregation is intentional, because it doesn't make sense to be in a space that you're not wanted, that you're not accepted, because again, it also messes up with your mental health. And that's very important. I don't want people to change. I don't want people to feel like them not having a connection is the end of the world. You have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to be comfortable with that loneliness. And understand that yes, you play a role in the connection, but so do other people. And if you're trying so hard to connect with other people, but then they're not trying so hard to connect with you, then you have to separate yourself and realize that this is not your circle. And I want y'all to look into your circles, look into your friendships, look at the people that you surround yourself with, who truly has a true bond, a connection, that you could have those conversations with, that you could be yourself, that you could be free. That there's a lot of love and respect. I wonder how much of that actually exists in today's times, because we're so segregated not only on identities but ideologies, personalities, and it just becomes a whole warping, tornado of just chaos. And sometimes, it sometimes feels better to not be a part of it. Sometimes it feels better to not exist in that playing field, because you realize that if a connection is going to be made, then you have to tweak yourself. And I don't want people to tweak themselves. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.